Whew. Okay, all right, guys. So we are going to look right now at the setting up of a session plan. I just arrived here. I'm more than 20 minutes early to my session, so I know that's good planning. So let's have a look at setting up an area and what's needed. As you can see here at the field, I have all my equipment already laid out. My planning was good. I planned here for a 3 to 4 year old fundamentals class. Session plan is done. Then my arrival time is good. As I said, I'm already here 20 minutes prior to my session, so I'm in a relaxed state, which is good for the kids when they arrive. Now let's look at the equipment. So when you get to a field, you go get the equipment yourself. Don't expect anybody else to set up your equipment for you. As we talked about earlier on, part of the role is being a leader, and so you go take the initiative to get your equipment ready for your area. So let's think of most sports. What do they need? Well, you're going to need obviously the sport that you're doing. Here you can see I have a bag of soccer balls, so I've got that ready. Then I've got 2 colors of pennies ready for like the end game, or if I want to play like chase the tail or anything like that. It's always good to have different colored pennies out and ready, and enough pennies ready for the amount of kids that you have. Typically our classes have between like 5 and 10 kids. What else do I have here? The goals. I have 2 sets of pug goals over here. A little tip for you on these, don't always set them up right at the start. It depends typically on the age of kids, but if you've got kids that are around 3 years old or younger, if you set the goals up too early, what are they going to do? They're just going to go sit in them. They're going to see it as like a play place. So that's a little coach's tip right there. Don't set up the goals straight away. And then I have my cones out here. As you can see, there's the string of cones here, and then I have set up 2 different colored cones. So we're going to start to look at now setting up an area. What's important in setting up your area? Because my planning was good, I've arrived here on time, I've taken the leadership role of getting all my equipment ready. So next is actually setting up the area. Now, one of the big things when you set up an area as a coach that you probably don't always think about is to just look through your area for any rocks, any sticks or anything like that, glass. You never know, like you never know. So that's part of our being a role model. So I'm just going to go take a quick whisk through here, just see the area, if I can see anything. Stick over here, look, I'm just going to throw that out of the way. The area looks pretty good. I am pretty good there. So let's have a look then now, guys. I'm in a pretty good state here. I'm going to set up an area with these blue cones. Now, a little thing to think about when you're setting up your area. Don't use lots of different colored cones because it creates inconsistency for the kids. We want the area to be very, very easy to see that like this is my space, this is where I have to stay. So I'm going to use this nice blue color, which is very, very simple to use in contrast to the green grass. I've also got some red cones over here which can be used for activities inside the blue, and again it'll create a nice contrast. The kids will be able to easily see that. So I'm going to go and set up a perimeter, and I'm going to talk you through how to do the spacing and the area. So the first thing I'm going to do here is just talk with you a little bit through the spacing of cones. When you set up an area, the younger your kids are, the closer your cones need to be together. So typically when you're setting up an area, you put down a cone and you take 5 steps for the next cone. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be the spacing in between those 2 cones there. And you can see then I'm going to set up another 5 steps that way, another 5 steps that way. I'm going to go set up the area. Just stay tuned and you just have a little look here how I try to make this area the same consistency in spacing and so that the kids can see this is my area. So just stay tuned here while I do this. So I'm going to go with 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there you go. As you can probably see out there, I've laid out a very small blue area, just typically just for this video so you can see it. It's the same color, it's the same spacing in between each cone. It seems like a small thing, it's a very big thing actually to a child. Now, if I'm working with 3 and 4 year olds, might I need more cones in between those spaces? Yeah. Why do you think? So that the kids doesn't see that as an exit route. So I might go and put in a cone in between each space so that they can clearly see. As you can see right there, it's a little bit more closed off now. Right, I might put one in here. And there we go. There is my coned area, all ready for my session. So let's think, how did I get to this point right now where I'm set, ready for the kids to arrive with plenty of time left. I'm in a nice state that's relaxed. The first thing, I planned my session out so I knew what I was doing. My arrival time was good. I allowed at least 20 minutes to get here so that I can set up, get all my equipment ready, and take accountability and leadership to set up my area. The third thing, as I said, we've got the equipment ready. And then the fourth thing was setting up an area. A little last thing on the area. Take a little note, not just of things in your area like sticks, rocks, glass, anything like that. Take a look at how close you are to the next group. What issues, what problems could you see with being too close to another group? It overlaps, kids can hear the other coach more than you. So you just look at the positioning of where you put your cones so that it helps. That's it from me today on the preparation and setting up of a session area. And that concludes this first part within our coaching training tutorial on the preparation to a session. So I've been Paul, you've been great. Tune in more as we start to look at how to practice within the actual starting of a session. But I've been Paul, you've been great today. Take care, hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.